Research suggests as many as 16 million people in the US may have narcissistic personality disorder, and about 50 to 75% of them are men. Yet many more hide narcissistic traits in ways that are far harder to see. I'm Jourdan Travers, a licensed psychotherapist, and today I'm here to discuss manipulation tactics narcissists use and how to escape their cycle. One of the most common tactics is something called dry begging. It's when someone hints at their needs without ever asking outright, but creates just enough emotional friction that you feel guilty if you don't step in. Anyone can slip into this without realizing it, but narcissists often use it on purpose. They'll act like they don't need anything and somehow still get what they want. It's not about asking, it's about shaping the mood so you feel pulled to help. For them, it keeps the image of being self-sufficient while still getting their needs met. And also, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to our channel if you haven't already, and press that bell icon so that you never miss a day of science-backed advice. Here are 3 ways narcissists use this tactic to get their way while keeping you feeling guilty. Number 1, playing the martyr. Some manipulators don't ask for help. They pretend that they're suffering. They don't say, "I need you." They say, "It's fine. I'll manage everything on my own, like I always do." Then let the silence hang heavy enough to make you feel like the villain for not rushing in. It looks like strength. It feels like selflessness, but it's actually a trap, one built on guilt. This is called relational aggression. It's a subtle form of control where someone uses guilt, exclusion, and emotional pressure to steer your behavior without ever making a direct demand. And in 2024, researchers studying nearly 2,000 university students found that narcissists are especially prone to this when they feel relatively deprived, when they believe that they're being overlooked, underappreciated, or denied the care that they deserve. Instead of asking for support, they weaponize their struggle. They sigh, they withdraw, go quiet, and wait for you to notice. It shifts the emotional burden off their shoulders and onto yours, not as a request, but as an obligation. And if you're the empathic one, you'll step in, because they've made it feel like not helping makes you heartless. That's why this tactic is so effective. It's about control. The moment you recognize the performance, you stop carrying the weight they staged for you. Number 2, they trap you in constant comparisons. Some manipulators don't ask you for more. They just make you feel like you're already giving less. You'll notice it in the little comments that drip with self-pity. It must be nice to have help. I wish I had someone like that. I guess some people are just luckier. It sounds harmless, but each remark plants the same quiet seed that they've been unfairly treated and it's on you to make it right. And if you're naturally empathetic, you'll start trying to balance a scale that they've created. In 2024, a team of psychologists studied this exact pattern with more than 700 college students. They wanted to know why people who constantly compare themselves to others sometimes lash out in subtle, manipulative ways. What they found was striking. The more someone compared themselves to others, the more they felt relatively deprived, as if everyone else was getting the support, recognition, or care that should have been theirs. And those feelings of deprivation became fuel. They pushed people toward emotional manipulation, guilt trips, withdrawal, silent suffering, anything to pull support back towards themselves. And this spiral was especially strong in people high in covert narcissism, the kind who appear sensitive or self-effacing on the outside, yet secretly crave control and validation. When these individuals saw others getting support, they didn't ask for it directly. They dropped hints, they waited for you to notice, and made you feel like helping was your moral responsibility. It's calculated, and it leaves you carrying the weight of their unmet needs without realizing how you got there. The key is to remember, their comparisons are not your responsibility to fix. Their emergency is not your urgency. Empathy isn't about abandoning your boundaries to even out someone else's imagined score. Number 3, they guilt you through scorekeeping. Some manipulators don't ask, they tally. Every favor, every compromise, every moment you showed up gets silently logged like entries in a mental ledger. Then, when they want something, the ledger opens. I've done so much for you. I never ask you for anything. After everything I've sacrificed, this is how you treat me. It's not a request, it's emotional blackmail. And it works by flipping your own care into guilt. A 2025 study with 150 employees in Oman uncovered the psychology behind this. The researchers wanted to see if narcissistic traits were tied to how people judge fairness. And what they found was telling. Narcissistic individuals tended to overestimate their own contributions and inflate their sense of entitlement, which made them feel cheated even when they were treated fairly. That distorted sense of, I've given more, primes them for covert scorekeeping. Before you notice it, you're already paying off a debt that never really existed. So the question becomes, how to stop falling for this manipulation tactic? Dry begging can be hard to spot and even harder to resist. One of the most powerful shifts is changing how you respond. Instead of absorbing their emotion as your responsibility, reflect it back without rescuing them. If they say, I always do everything alone, resist the reflex to rush in or apologize. Instead, try, it sounds like you're feeling overwhelmed. What would you like to do about it? This simple move validates their feelings, but places the responsibility back where it belongs, with them. It stops the guilt cycle before it can hook you. Also, watch for imbalance. Notice when emotional currency is always tilted in their favor, when you constantly feel like you owe them, even though they never actually ask. That's not mutual care, that's manipulation. You don't need to call it out every time, but you do need to see it. Because the moment you recognize these patterns as choices they're making, rather than obligations you must fulfill, you're able to reclaim your agency. And once you start responding with conscious clarity, instead of automatic guilt, their power over you begins to fade. I'm Jourdan Travers. I'm the clinical director at Awake Therapy, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.